We blowing nose, let the smoke down. Inhaling, exhaling with no hands. I go to Asher, hit my gold chains. My eyes be Asian, but I'm so French. Roll up the sticky parrot with some sushi. Write verses on my phone and dish the loosely. I just light it up like Snoop and Lil Tunechi. Sip gin and juice and now I'm chillin' loosely. Cause I love pot. All my homies know how to roll, call them dudes, and they grow my stack. I'm a grower and a shower at your girl, I bet she knows my spot. She like a green and we got it, you ain't got it, homie. Oh my God, oh my squad, but I love pot. All my homies know how to roll, call them dudes, and they grow my stack. I'm a grower and a shower at your girl, I bet she knows my spot. She like a green and we got it, you ain't got it, homie. Oh my God, oh my squad, yeah. I just want a baddie and a little mixture. Like 50,000 likes on all the pictures. I want an ounce of butter, fifth of liquor. To take this broad into the fifth dimension. I mentioned a little birdie tweeted, we gon' hit this. So is this the butter, her eye isn't listening. I wish that I could post an image while I hit that. But in fact, I don't want the world up in my business. Cause welcome back, you degenerate bastards. I love every single last one of you. I do. I truly and really do. We did not have a CP units this week. So I decided to debut a new segment where we talk about the bets before the stream. Yeah. Before the watch along. If you don't already know, I'm the host of this here channel. I'm Gaff. I'm the host of One More Round Fights, where we give you UFC 5 game simulations, undisputed gaming simulations, watch-alongs for PFL and one championship, watch-alongs for the UFC when main card minute isn't around, live chats on Sunday to break down what happened over the weekend before you get to digest on Monday. Man, there's a lot here on this channel, so don't forget to tell a friend. Come on by. We got parlays, picks, props, all that shit. All that shit. So don't forget to come on by. Scan the QR code right here to become a fan of the channel. You can subscribe on YouTube, follow on Instagram, all that shit. Scan that QR code. Okay? That's how you become part of this here family. And don't forget, we also have a channel that we do the full watch along on. We'll be doing a watch along today at 4 p.m. Full card watch along on the main card minute right here. So don't forget to scan the QR code for both channels if you haven't already. We're trying to get to 650 subs, people. We're trying to get there. We're on the way, slowly but surely. We'll get to the thousands one day. We'll get to 4 digits, 5 digits one day. But right now, we're trying to get to 650. So don't forget to be kind and share that, subscribe, share that channel if you like it. And you got some fans and friends that like MMA, boxing, combat sports, all of the sorts. But yo, you guys already know what we're here to do. We're here to talk about props for this card. We got UFC Vegas 111 today. We got Gabriel Bonfim taking on Randy Rude Boy Brown. Okay, New York, we back in this bitch. We back, baby. New York, we riding with Randy. New York, we're riding with Randy. My chart has something else, but we're riding with Randy. Okay, we always ride with Randy. All right, but we got a couple things. We got a couple things, housekeeping things to get underway.
Okay, so ladder challenge last week didn't go well. We will have another ladder challenge. I will be putting that as a story and posting that on the YouTube just before the card, probably like an hour before the card. So don't forget, if you want to hop on that ladder challenge, we're going to try to turn 10 into 10 million. No, I'm just kidding. 10 into 10,000. So we're going to take a $10 bill. We're going to double it. We're going to take what we put our investment back and then take that 10 and turn it into whatever we can over the next few cards. Hopefully we can do this shit by Christmas, man. That would be tight. We got a couple boxing cards and we got a couple MMA cards. So maybe we can do this shit by Christmas. A little Christmas present, a little 10K in the bank for you and yours. That would be nice. So don't forget to keep an eye out for that ladder challenge. But let's talk about the props on this card. So what we do in the locker room is we break this down into 7 different portions. Okay, we talk about the unders, we talk about the overs, we talk about knockout props, submission props, decision props. We talk about our best money line bets, ones that make sense, ones that are kind of high, kind of low, all that kind of stuff. And finally, we talk about our dogs, baby. Now, my initial plan is to always bring in Luke for dogs of the week, so hopefully Luke from the main card minute. He's busy this week. Hopefully next week we'll get him in here. But keep in mind, he still gave us some picks and a lot of dogs. So we got some of those ready too. So don't forget, every week noon before the card, we're going to be doing just about an hour stream talking about all the best bets, props, talking about things that we should be looking out for in both fight styles of the fighters, stuff like that. We're going to go through the full card and I'll give you my in-depth picks right at the end. If you didn't catch them for CP units, you could always catch them on the locker room. So without further ado, let's get into it. First thing on the locker room, we got to talk about overs. Okay? Plenty of overs on this card that I think are going to be viable for bets, whether you want to do overs, whether you want to do decision bets, whatever you want to do. We'll get into decisions a little more, but overs on this card, I'm feeling the Daniel Marcos, Miles Johns fight. I mean, Daniel Marcos, a lot of decisions, also has some TKO wins, never submitted an opponent. No submission wins for Daniel Marcos. So that already we're leaning more decision right there because Miles Johns is already a hard person to finish. Okay. So I like the over 2.5 in this fight. Keep in mind, Miles Johns likes to put pace on people and he likes to strike from the outside, likes to stay busy and stay real active. So he's going to use that. He's going to try to pepper Marcos if Marcos doesn't try to put the pace on him. And then he mixes in takedowns, and takedowns takes a lot of time off the clock, especially when you're not a person that hunts for crazy submissions and doesn't have crazy jiu-jitsu like Miles Johns. So whether Daniel Marcos or Miles Johns invest in a grappling heavy game, I like this fight to go long. So I like the over 2.5 in this fight a lot. I'm almost positive it should go over 2.5. I don't see either guy finishing. Submission is definitely unlikely. Miles Johns will probably try to throw 1 or 2 in there. It will be unsuccessful. So, but yeah, and Daniel Marcos, I don't think he'll even attempt a submission. I mean, he likes to get some grappling exchanges in and stay on top, but he likes to try to strike to finish his opponent. So I like the over 2.5 in this fight. I don't think Miles Johns is going to go down easy. Obviously, every single fight with a female on it, I like the over. I like the over in the Tisha Pennington, Denise Gomez fight. I like Gomez. She got finishes early in her career, but since coming to the UFC, a lot of decisions coming out. A lot of decisions, whether win or lose for Denise Gomez. And then Tisha Pennington, come on. She's got 13 decision wins and only 1 KO and 1 sub. I mean, decision all the way here. So over 2.5 for that fight is looking very viable. I like that fight as well. I just think Tisha's too small and too old. I think this is Denise Gomez's time. She's going to put the pace on her. Tisha, always hard to finish. I don't think she's ever been finished now that I'm thinking about it. But if she has, it's been sparingly. So I like Denise Gomez with this. I like the over 2.5. We'll go with my picks later. Also for an over, obviously the Mayra Bueno Silva and Cavalcanti fight. Cavalcanti, a lot of decision wins, like to strike and fight on the outside. Mayra Bueno Silva, she is a finisher. But Cavalcanti, I have faith in her having enough ground game to stay out of dangerous positions and to make it boring. So if she does lose, it could be a decision to Mayra Bueno Silva with a lot of top control. But I really see Cavalcanti staying on the outside and peppering her, just like all the other fights that we've seen Mayra Bueno Silva lose to strikers in. So over 2.5 conducive on both sides. I like it. I like a spread bet for Mayra Bueno Silva because she definitely is a live dog. Has a lot of fights still in her despite the last few losses on her record. So yeah. Also MBS fighting with a 4-inch reach disadvantage, so that should be kept in mind. That's going to be hard to stay to get inside on Cavalcanti, especially when Cavalcanti's a really good striker. So that's not conducive to a grappling heavy game when you have such a reach disadvantage. 4 inches doesn't feel like a lot, but it is a lot in there. 3, 2, not so much, but 4, yeah, 4 seems to be a lot. Like a full 2-inch reach advantage. That's like a full finger length, bro. You could stay on the outside with your fucking, you know what I mean? And that's what Cavalcanti does. Mayra Bueno Silva is not favored against strikers. Another over that I kind of like, but it's a little sketchy. Hyder Emil and Jamal Emmers. I mean, this could be an Emil KO, it could be an Emmers sub. Emmers really good ground game, lots of subs on his record. But I think the over is going to be possible here. I think Emil's never going to really get going. Honestly, I think Emmers is going to be able to stay on the outside. He's going to be able to stay on the outside. He's got the 4-inch reach advantage. Again, 4-inch reach advantage popping up here. Usually when Hyder Emil faces somebody with a reach advantage, aka Jose Delgado, he did get finished, but I don't see Emmers having the power to put him out. So I think this fight will play out largely on the feet. And Emmers might be able to steal a fucking win here. So I like the over here. I'm not sure about the Christian Leroy Duncan and the Marco Tulio fight. Before the fight, I would have favored an over. I would have favored a Duncan over, possibly, just because of more experience. But he is fighting away. Well, they're both fighting away from these countries because Tulio's Brazilian, I believe, and Duncan's English. But I kind of like the over in that fight. And I like the over in the Simone fight, but we've seen Barcelos get KO'd before. Simone doesn't really get finished. Barcelos, I can't really see Simone finishing him outside of a big, large punch. So I kind of like this fight to go the distance, whether Barcelos gets a decision win or Simone gets a decision win. This is going to be a pace fight. Whoever's got the better cardio is going to win this fight. Barcelos is getting old in age. Ricky Simone's still in his prime. Ricky Simone has stood in there with some of the best fighters that the bantamweight division has to offer and has a win over the champ. So Ricky Simone, I'm kind of favoring him. If there was ever a time for Ricky Simone to start making a push for a title shot, Ricky, it's now, my boy. The time is now, okay? There's no time but the present for Ricky Simone to string a couple more wins together. Barcelos would be a fantastic start. Maybe 1 or 2 more, and you can find yourself in for a title shot, bro. There ain't much up there. A lot of people have already fought for the title, or a lot of these matchups we've already seen, even with Ricky. So if Ricky could get a couple new matchups, string a couple easy wins together, make himself in line for Merab, make Merab intrigued to try to get a win back over somebody that has a win over him that he may not think that has beaten him, but I like the over in this fight. And then the other fights I don't like overs for. I'm not gonna lie. If there's overs, it's like an over 1.5 and Bonfim and Brown, but I don't like overs for anything else past those first 2 fights on the main card. I feel like we're gonna get finished central after that. Yeah, that's how I feel about the unders on the card. Let's get through these comments now. I let that shit build for a little bit. Lazy says, the CP units like when nobody is in the game? Oh, sorry. Is this like CP units when nobody's in the game? Yeah, I mean, nobody was in the game this week for CP units, so we couldn't do shit, Lazy. It was fucking bullshit. Infrared says CP units is rigged anyways. I mean, we won last week. You know what I mean? What? I mean, the week before that. Because we got robbed on, I don't even want to talk about it. We got robbed on CP units last week, but the week before that, we should have a 2-week streak on CP units is all I'm trying to say. We should have a 2-week streak. Melker says we in the locker room now. That's what I'm saying. We cooking with the boys in the locker room right now. We about to go out there in a couple hours, put a show on for the people. We're in the locker room right now. All right. Real fights are rigged too, apparently. I mean, with the recent news coming out, I've definitely started to shy away from prelim fighters. You're going to see that in my parlays. I think you're going to notice that in my parlays, but yeah, man, there's not a lot of prelim fighters I can trust these days where I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to rock with them. I'm going to parlay this motherfucker. I mean, there's literally one that I'm fucking with this week. Everybody else that I have in my parlays is on the main card. So, oh wait, am I right about that? I might be right about that. No, I'm not right about that. I went a little crazy. I forgot I went a little crazy with the high risk, but main card is definitely where I'm making the money this week. I'm feeling the main card. I'm feeling a lot of stuff on the main card. So, yeah, prelim fighters are scaring me these days, Christian. No, great point. Nothing is real anymore. Melker says, all right. I like this. Let's chat combat. Danger Mouse says, hey up, Gaff. Guys, what up? What up, Danger? How you feeling? Mr. Mouse is infrared. Hey, yo, infrared. Danger Christian Lazy. Hope y'all good. I watch so many betting shows and I don't gamble. I'm like the guy that hangs out in the crack house but doesn't smoke the crack. Same to you, Melker. Yo, Melker Mouse dude. So Melker Lazy. Let's stay that way, Lazy. What up, Melker and everyone? Like Johns to go long Johns, long Miles Johns, man. I like his fights to go long. He's good for those. He's the exact opposite of Terrence McKinney to go under. You know what I mean? Whether he wins or loses. But shout out to Terrence McKinney. T-Rex is my dog. Melker says, I was the guy who would smoke weed while my friends would smoke meth, but they moved on like champs, so we good now. All right, wait. Good. I'm moved on from that, right? Is that what you meant? Have you done your picks this week, Gaff? I have done my picks. My picks are complete. I have my chart goes against what my heart says in the main event, but I have to go with the stats. I just have to go with the stats. So that's why my chart looks a little different than what I'm going to say when we get down to it. Always weed over meth or crack. Downers for life. Hell yeah, baby. Weed all day. Only upper I'm on is coffee and sometimes nicotine. Sometimes I'm on nicotine. I don't drink coffee though. But sometimes I'm on nicotine. I have a lot of natural energy in the morning. So I just get up. My girlfriend hates it. I get up fucking amped. I get up. I jump out. I jump out of bed. I'm sorry. Like, what are we doing today? I'm fucking ready to go when I wake up. Y'all ever mess with Kratom? No, I've never messed with Kratom. Never yet. Those are acceptable. Yeah, those are the acceptable uppers. Drinking a double espresso and smoking a full flavor King as we speak. That's a nice way to wake up right there. Fights on the main card I'm looking forward to are CLD, Muslim, and Simone. CLD is one I'm looking forward to, which is why that fight is in no parlays, but Luke convinced me to put him in one just a few minutes ago. So I have a 3-legger with CLD in there. Maybe I'll reveal that one in a little bit. Yo, what's up, everyone? This is Mr. Davis. Almost went down a bad road with Alpha Brain. I could see how that could happen, you know. I'm not sure I'll be free to watch fights, but I hope you all win money on these totally legitimate Apex fights, Mr. Davis. I see you throwing shade. When I typed Simone, it suggested Simone Richards. If you know, you know. Fuck that one. Myra's getting the plus 700 sub. I do have a sub parlay with Myra in it, just in case. I just read an article about Jacqueline Cavalcanti shooting guns in the desert with Chun-Li from Pawn Stars. Didn't see that coming. Yeah. So fighters have been doing a lot of side quests these days, and I'm here for it. I'm fucking here for the side quests. Love that shit. PPL forget, man. Ricky beats Marab. See, people forget. Ricky beat Marab. Geez, I haven't thought of Chun-Li in so long. Same Melker. The over in the Fat Boys is in play and has to be like plus 500. That is a secret lay that I threw in just in case. I used to watch Pawn Stars with my mom. Good memories. Yeah, those are good. You know, guessing fucking prices on shit. Like, no, that's got to be like 400. And then they'll be like, I'm asking 4,200 for it. Be like, what the fuck? I used to love that shit. Been working 12-hour shifts as a sales assistant, so coffee has been my best friend. Oh yeah, when me and Luke used to work the job that we met each other at, we used to work overnights, and sometimes it would start with halal, but it would always end with trips to the coffee machine. Whether you're doing the coffee with the espresso or not the coffee with the espresso, the hot chocolate with the espresso, or you're doing cups of coffee or espresso or whatever the fuck. That machine was going all night because motherfuckers needed that at 4 a.m., 5 a.m. when it got real dark and quiet in the room. Nobody's talking anymore. You're like just trying to stay awake, watching some fucking horse racing or F1 at 5 in the morning. Shit's tough, bro. Shit's tough. But let's get into the next prop that we want to talk about. Since we talked about overs, let's talk about decision props. Okay, well, let's just keep it in the decision prop range here. So I already talked about the Marcos decision. I like that fight to go to decision. I like Marcos to get the decision if we're talking decision. So I like Marcos in a decision prop as a first leg. If you're doing like a decision parlay, I like Marcos to do that. Marcos, let's look at Marcos real quick. I don't want to share. Yeah, we'll show this a little later when we do the money props. He has 8 wins by knockout and 3 of them in the first round. Okay, so that's something to be noted. But damn, imagine Miles Johnson getting caught. That'd be terrible, right? That's not gonna happen, right? Nah, that's not gonna happen. Our boy's he's gonna have a chin tonight. He's going against Daniel Marcos, who's 8 wins by knockout. So obviously his 17 other wins are, 9 other wins are by decision. Okay. So that's a lot of decision wins. Over half of his wins by decision. I kind of favor him to get a decision win here. So I like now Miles Johns. 60% of his wins are by decision. So more than half of both of these guys' wins are by decision. I just favor Daniel Marcos here with more finishing ability to put more power on his punches and make it look like he's winning this fight. So I like Daniel Marcos as the first leg. And then obviously we got to take both of these ladies' fights decision props if we're doing a decision bet, right? I would favor Denise Gomez in the first one of those two. Tisha Pennington, very, very live to steal it, though, man. I mean, this could be performance of a lifetime, and I don't, no offense to her, I just don't see a path back to a title shot. So I don't want to say she ends her career getting to the title and winning it. I mean, if there ever was a time, it's probably now. No offense to the champ, but this is the most likely opponent for her to beat out of all her former opponents or potential opponents. So a win here would be big. I just favor the younger, longer, stronger, which will be Denise Gomez. And I favor her to get a decision. Tisha Pennington, very hard to finish. I don't think Denise Gomez will find the button, whether it's a submission getting on her back or a TKO. So Denise Gomez would be my second leg for a decision parlay. My next leg would have to be the Cavalcanti Mayra Bueno Silva fight. And I'd probably have to go Cavalcanti to stay on the outside. The fight starts on the feet. She could keep it there. She's the longer fighter with a 4-inch reach advantage. She's known to win a decision fight between the two. Let's see on the decision stats here. Did I click this? Is my laptop frozen? All right. Let's see. What is that? 2 fights up? Oh my God. This fucking UFC.com page is fucking scripty as fuck. Shit is popping out, turning sideways, bump. Shit's crazy. But 67% of Cavalcanti's wins have come by decision. Now, Mayra Bueno Silva only has 20% of her wins by decision, and 70% of those wins are by sub. More on that later. But I just like Cavalcanti to get that decision win, man. Mayra Bueno Silva not getting any younger. I don't see a clear path to the title. She's 10-5 in her career. I mean, going up against a 9-1 fighter, I just favor Cavalcanti, the taller, longer fighter, a little bit bigger I believe Mayra Bueno Silva fought down at 25, and Cavalcanti fought as big as 35. Now this fight is at 25, right? Unless I'm crazy. Is this a 35? Oh shit, this is a 35 fight. I definitely favor Cavalcanti, bro. Get out of here. Cavalcanti, third leg of the decision, easy leg. And then if I had to do a fourth leg, because those legs will get you, let's see, Marcos is probably plus 110 or something like that. Denise Gomez probably in a similar range, maybe even minus, maybe like a minus 110. So that's going to only get you like minus plus 400. And then if you add that, the Cavalcanti decision, she's already a favorite and fight's already favored to go the distance. Maybe that's another minus 130 or something like that. So maybe it'll get you like plus 800, 3 legs. If that's good for you, take that. Those 3 legs. That's a great decision parlay bet. But me, I'm a degenerate fucking asshole. Okay, so I'm probably going to throw Ricky Simone as my fourth leg. I'll throw Ricky Simone as my fourth leg on the decision parlay. I like Ricky Simone in the decision. I already like the over. I don't see him getting a TKO over Barcelos. Barcelos really good on the ground. I don't see the sub coming, whether it's a guillotine or not, arm triangle or not. I don't see it coming. And I don't see Ricky Simone wanting to dive into the ground with Barcelos when he knows he has the advantage on the feet and the power advantage. So I like Ricky Simone in the decision as my fourth leg for that decision parlay. That's definitely a 4. That's definitely 4 digits. Any way you cut it. I don't know if it's plus 2 4 digits or plus 1 4 digits, but yeah, it's definitely 4 digits if you do those 4 legs. Has to be. Yeah. And then if you're looking for like a sweaty decision parlay, then maybe like honestly, I wouldn't even go choosing who. I would maybe just go an over in the Padilla Bonfim fight and an over in the CLD Tulio fight, in the Christian Leroy Duncan Tulio fight. Maybe that. Emmers Emil would probably go over, but yeah, man, I've seen Emmers get finished. I've seen Emil's power. I've seen Emmers get a sub. I've seen Emil take a hard shell. That fight's tough for me to call, so I'd want to stay away from that fight in any decision props. Yeah, and those are all the decision bets I have for you. I don't like anything. Like I said, I don't like anything about the last 4 fights of the card. I don't like any decisions there. I don't like any decisions there. I'm staying away from all decisions on those last 4 fights on the card for Rizzle Dizzle. Tripping. Let's see. Bro, the worst is when you're awake, but your body is falling asleep. I was sitting in the morning thinking I'm listening to a coworker, but I literally woke up when he asked me if I understand. I said, yes. Those are the worst because you think you're there. You're all there. And then you're just like, wait, what the fuck just happened? Did I teleport? Did I just teleport? Those are bad too. The worst is the drive home, bro. Because sometimes you're so tired, you don't even know to put on the fucking radio. Like if your car doesn't automatically put it on, so you're just listening to the sounds of life around you, and then you realize you're not listening to music. And you're like, yeah, I should put something on. I should put something on. That's happened to me so many times driving down 110. Shout out to 110. Shout out to 109 as well. Both those roads near and dear to my heart. Yeah, let's talk about. We did overs. Let's talk about some unders, man. Let's talk about some unders. Let's talk about some fucking unders on this card. That's possible. Let me close this fucking page because it's slowing everything down and pissing me off. Fuck you, UFC. Your page is ass, and your rankings page. They're both ass. They're both booty and buns. All right. So unders on this card, man. Unders. I like the first fight to go under. Now, you guys know that I like the first fight to actually go the distance. That was my rule for a little while, long while, actually. But recently we've been getting these fights that start the card off with some bangs, and I feel like this is another one that has bang potential, especially because this first fight, Jackson McVeigh versus Zachary Reese, was originally supposed to be Jackson McVeigh versus Robert Valentin. Robert Valentin that used to be on Tough. Right now, it has changed to Zachary Reese. Zachary Reese, a very solid light heavyweight / middleweight, as is Jackson McVeigh. I believe this fight is now at light heavyweight. If it was at middleweight, let me see. Nope. Oh, I'm on the wrong page. Hold up. This fight is a catch weight. Sorry, this is a catch weight of 195. It's a catch weight of 195, not 205, 195. So a little leeway for Zachary Reese, so he's not going to be as drawn out, but keep in mind he still has to cut weight on short notice. May not look as great in there, may affect the gas tank. He may want to go in there, get a quick finish. Now, early in Zachary Reese's career, gets a lot of first round finishes, a lot of early finishes. Not so much recently, but I feel like he can go back to that for this fight. Jackson McVeigh, almost exclusively a first round guy. First round finishes all across the board, whether he wins or loses. So I very much like this fight to go under. Whether if it doesn't get finished in the first round, I don't think either of these guys are going to have enough gas for it to go past halfway in the second round. It's probably going to go early in the second round. So I like the under in this fight. This would definitely be my first leg of an unders parlay. It definitely has potential to go over if these guys want to play it safe, but Jackson McVeigh has never shown it himself to play it safe in a fight. So I'm not going to take him to start doing it now against a short notice opponent. I think he's going to want to put his foot on the gas tank and gas out his opponent as well. So I think this fight goes under. I like that fight to go under. The Josh Hokett Max Jimenez fight. Now this fight should go under, and I have it in my unders parlay. But this fight has potential to be heavyweight slop, where Hokett sits on top of him and rides him out to a decision. I mean, Max Jimenez has a lot of TKO wins, and he himself doesn't have a lot of decisions on his record, win or lose. But the problem here is that he has a lot of finishes. Josh Hokett may want to play it safe because this is going to be his first official UFC fight. This is Max Jimenez's first official UFC fight. Okay. There's a lay and pray possibility here, especially if Hokett can't TKO him on the ground. He may search for submissions, and Max Jimenez, I believe, is Brazilian. He's going to have some Brazilian jiu-jitsu in his back pocket, whether he's good at it or not offensively. He's going to have some defensive jiu-jitsu in his back pocket. So I like Josh Hokett to get the TKO in round one, but I'm not confident. I'm not confident in that under. I would probably skip that under if I were you, because it's set at 1.5. 2.5 feels a lot safer, but I'm not liking it. So for me, that's 2 under 1.5s. Scary under 1.5s. And obviously, I'm skipping all these fights that I favored to go to decision. And we're going to those last 4 fights. Okay. Now, Chris Padilla, Ishmael Bonfim, I'm going to stay away from. I'm not sure where that fight goes because Padilla, when he wins, more than likely it's a finish. Okay. And Ishmael Bonfim did not make weight, and he missed by a lot. I believe it was 6 pounds. He came in at like 161 or some shit for a lightweight fight. So not liking his odds to get a finish, but also Ishmael Bonfim gets a lot of TKOs and some subs. He gets a lot of finishes when he wins. So this fight should be in your unders, in your eye for unders, at least under 2.5, if not 1.5. So that should definitely be something to look at, but the high decision possibility here. It just looks a little wonky for me. Too many factors in this fight, how much the lines are moving. And when the lines move, we've seen last week, it's conducive to an under. But these fights are fishy for me, so I wouldn't really throw that fight in my unders parlay. But a fight that I like in my unders parlay, the welterweight showdown between the Kung Fu Panda, Muslim Salikov, and Uros Medic, man. This fight, both of these guys, real good strikers. Both of these guys want to fucking bang. They have honor in their striking, I believe. I believe they have honor in their striking. Now, Muslim Salikov trains at the Abdulmanap Nurmagomedov school. Wrestling is going to be there. If he starts getting pieced up, I could see Medic being on his back after Salikov gets him down and just lays on him to get some wind or get his wits back. But I love this fight to go under, and I don't like the 1.5 because both of these guys are such good strikers. But I feel like I've seen Medic go down late in fights so many times, and I've seen Salikov get so many late finishes, and I've seen Medic get so many early finishes that under 2.5 just makes so much fucking sense here. It's not going to be the greatest price. It's going to be like -300, but it feels safe to me. I just don't see this fight going the distance. I just see a TKO for one of these guys, so I like an under here. And I'll let you know who I favor in that fight later. And then the last under I like, come on, bro. Matt Schnell in any fight, you gotta like the under. Whether he's getting the finish or getting finished, Matt Schnell is like Terrence McKinney at fucking flyweight, baby. That guy doesn't like decisions. That guy does not like decisions. He gets pieced up, knocked out, subbed, or he's knocking somebody out, man. Matt Schnell is nice, or he's getting niced on. I like Boppo though. I like Joe Morales to get the sub here, so I like the under in this fight as well. That would be my 4 legs unders parlay. I would do the first fight of the night with Jackson McVeigh, Zachary Reese under 1.5, the Josh Hokett, Max Jimenez under 1.5. I do the Muslim Salikov, Uros Medic under 2.5, and the Matt Schnell, Joe Morales under 2.5. Now, if you could alter those lines and do under 2.5 for all of them, that almost feels like a lock for me. But there's no fucking locks in MMA. We know that. So yeah, those are my unders parlays for this card. Knockout props. Not a lot. I got excited, but there's not a lot of props on this card. There's a couple people with hands. Obviously, the Zachary Reese Jackson McVeigh fight. Like, I don't see a sub happening in this fight. If there's a sub, it's Reese getting the sub. But I like a McVeigh TKO. Obviously, almost all of his wins and losses by TKO. And then Zachary Reese. I mean, if this guy's going to want to throw hands, you got to live by the sword, die by the sword. So a TKO in round 1, definitely possible. I feel like this will be the least sweaty TKO leg on the card. Somebody's getting gassed out and punched to submit to till the referee stops, or somebody's getting put out. Simple as that. That's the TKO prop I like in that fight. The next TKO fight, obviously, Jimenez and Hokett. Jimenez has a lot of TKOs on his record, and then Josh Hokett has a lot of TKOs on his record. I don't like Hokett to get the sub here, but we'll talk about that later. So I like him to get the TKO. I don't like this fight to go long, obviously, since I'm going with the unders. So I like a TKO prop in this fight. It doesn't matter who gets it, to be honest, but that's also probably a big minus money leg, just TKO in that fight. But I'm just saying, TKO props are alive and well in that fight somewhere. Whichever fighter you like in that fight, take him by TKO. You might pay out something nice. I know Josh Hokett's not going to pay out something nice. I think it's minus right now. Like Josh Hokett TKO, I think is like minus 180 or some shit, some bullshit like that. It's definitely minus though. I know it's minus. So yeah. There's that. The CLD Marco Tulio fight. I did say that I like this fight to go long, or if I didn't, I'm gonna say it now. I like this fight to go long. I like CLD to get the decision here, but a fight in KO is possible because both of these guys like to throw hands, and both of these guys have a surprising amount of KOs on their records. So yeah, they're both budding prospects, which when that happens, it's almost always conducive to a decision. That it reminds me of not in the best way, but since they're on this card, Raoni Barcelos and Peyton Talbot, I almost certainly thought it was going to be a Talbot TKO, and then it ended up being Barcelos' decision. I feel like this is a similar thing where a lot of people are probably thinking Tulio's going to get the TKO over Christian Leroy Duncan, but I think it could be a Duncan decision, man. I think it could be a Duncan decision. So, but the TKO prop is possible because both of these guys are TKO guys. I don't have it in the TKO parlay, but I'm just saying it's possible in that fight. A TKO parlay I do have Ishmael Bonfim and Chris Padilla, bro. That fight could end in TKO, definitely. Now Ishmael Bonfim not favored to get a submission. I think that's the highest prop on the card. It's like plus 1,000 for him to get a sub. So if this fight doesn't go the distance, which why would he want to with a compromised gas tank and coming in 6 pounds overweight? Maybe not compromised because he came in 6 pounds. I mean, did you stop cutting? You know what I mean? So maybe he's not compromised. Maybe he'll have a little extra gas in the tank, but he has a lot of TKOs on his record. And if he doesn't have a lot of gas in that tank, well, Chris Padilla could fucking TKO him as well. So I like the TKO prop in that lightweight bout as well. And then obviously we just talked about that one, the Muslim Salikov and the Uros Medic fight. TKO props all day, Kung Fu all day, striking all day on the side of Medic. Both these guys like to strike. This fight should stay on the feet for the most part, which is conducive to a TKO unless these guys want a point fight. And Medic isn't one to be known to point fight. Salikov could lull you there, but Medic isn't one of those guys. So I think this fight ends in TKO, whether it's Salikov taking an L at the big old age of 40 or Uros Medic taking an L from the Kung Fu man, the old man. So yeah, those are my knockout props for this card. Let me get back into this chat real quick. It's starting to get out of hand. Where? Okay. Craziest thing that happened this week was when I caught my supervisor watching Bilal versus JDM during his shift. I was like, you degen, as well as he said a hardcore one at that. Really? Wow, that's dope. So finding friends at work, I love that shit. Well, hopefully a friend. LOL. That's a fantastic Melker. I love when shit like that happens. I'm always hiding my habits and then discovering people around me who have the same ones. Yes, and that's why we found each other in this chat, Tanner. Melker, at the time I knew I'm staying at the shop for just Monday morning combos about the fights. Yeah. I mean, now you got early something to break down, somebody else to bounce some ideas off of if you're throwing out some props, some bets. It's nice. It's nice to have common minds nearby. Got any bets on Virgil Ortiz fight, Gaff? My only bets on that fight are Virgil Ortiz TKO 7 through 12 or a Lubin decision. Those are the only two props. Those are the only two props I like in that fight. Virgil Ortiz 7 to 12 or Lubin decision. Lubin's tough as hell. He's going to stay in the fight as long as possible, but Virgil Ortiz, a hell of a lot of TKOs. So TKO very possible, and the only way Lubin loses is by TKO, so kind of very likely. And then, Lubin, if he does somehow win this fight, we've seen him steal a fight before. He can steal a decision. It's very possible. Lubin's tough, and you always know I'm rocking with my Haitian brethren. Where my fucking flag at? Where my fucking flag? Rocking with Haiti all day, baby. All day. All day. So Erickson Lubin, I'm putting a decision bet on Erickson Lubin, and I'm going to put that Virgil Ortiz 7 to 12 in because I got to have it both ways. It is what it is. Manich in the house. Oh, new OMR series. Yes, sir. We got the locker room every noon before, we're going to try noon if the fight's in the afternoon. If it's early, like a fucking 10 a.m. card, I'm obviously not going to go live at, 6 in the morning, but maybe the night before, we'll see. But yeah, new series for one more round fights, the locker room before all these cards. And then Tanner says, a note about Max Jimenez. He has a bunch of ADCC matches. He's not just a grappler in the sense of he was born in Brazil. Apparently he is actually a grappler. So yeah, that's another reason I don't favor Josh Hokett to get the sub. I favor him to get the TKO of anything. And then it could be a decision if he's unable to get that TKO. So yeah, that's why that fight worries me in the under. That's exactly why that fight worries me in the under. It got even worse. I knew it was going to get worse. I fucking knew it. I fucking knew it. Manich in the building. Someone said this is CP units when nobody on the card is in the game. Now, we'll still have CP units. CP units will still be around, as will the locker room. But there might be weeks where there's no CP units and there's only the locker room. Oh, shit. We live right now. Yes, we are, Richland. Yes, we are. I was coming for the sheets, laughing my ass off. It's live. Why do I get no notifications? You got to click that bell, baby. Don't forget to click that bell below. That's how you get notified. Why can't I click this? Dropped like 13 on it, babe. Tulio has been destroying dudes two-handedly for me to go against him. Yeah. But Christian Louis Duncan's good, man. He's surprisingly good, and he knows how to win a decision fight. That's the problem here. Tulio can't find that button. He also hasn't fought anybody worthy, we'll say. That I can be like, yo, Tulio beat that guy. Holy shit. It's, it's just like, Christian Leroy Duncan's going to be his first big test. I just retoggled the bell so I get the notification. Shout out to you, Richland. Appreciate it. Gaff, don't forget about your Tapology. Good call, because I did not do that. I'll do that right after this card. Good call. I think I did do it, but I didn't put it after I put my real picks in. I just did it preemptively earlier in the week. I think he got the picks in already. Cool. Good looking out though. There has been some missed weeks. Yeah, too many missed weeks if you ask me, bro. I should be in that top 5 by now. If I made my picks, bro, I'll be in that top 5. Fuck a top 10. I'll be in that top 5. You gotta have it both ways. You already know, Melker. Richland says, Gaff, I know it's early, but I will take a bong rip if you take a bong rip. I'm washing clothes, mopping, vacuuming floors at the crib. Get ready to not be bothered by my girlfriend when the UFC starts. I got you, brother. I'll take a mid locker room rip. We know what happens in the locker room at these NFL games, at these, back in the day at these fucking NBA games, motherfuckers clown around. Shit. Some people be smoking. I know KD goes out to the parking lot. I know my boy KD, also one of my favorite fucking ballers of all time, man. Shout out to one of the best blazers of all time. Richland, shout out to you. Let's take a little blaze, bro. Little halftime. Maybe I'll make a little halftime lower. We'll do a little halftime, little halftime rips. Because we're about halfway through this. Richland, you late, homie. We ripping already. I was listening to my girlfriend talk. Then I got a notification. Gaff going live. Then I acted like I got a call and ran home. I just, of course. Let's go. Cheers, brother. Cheers. All right. So, we went through all the knockouts. We got submissions next. Now, I have so many submission parlays, and I'm not gonna lie to you. I got the Bonfim submission parlay. Okay, because Gabriel Bonfim, he had like 17 wins by submission or some shit. Maybe it's like 13, but a lot of definitely double-digit submission wins for Gabriel Bonfim. Ishmael Bonfim, not as much, but Chris Padilla has lost by submission. And I could see a club and sub possibility. And it's the highest prop on the board, so I had to sprinkle it. So, yeah, I did a Bonfim Brothers sub parlay. That's one of the parlays that I did. I had to do it. I just had to, man. It just made so much sense. It was calling to me. It would be one of those bullshit things like, oh, all the money came in on Padilla last second, and then he went plus and then gets the sub, and so I go crazy. I just feel like something weird's going to happen in that fight. So I had to do the Bonfim Brothers sub parlay. The other sub parlay that I had to do was Gabriel Bonfim, because obviously most of his wins come by sub. I also had to do Joseph Morales match now. I mean, brother, how could we not include it when Match Now has lost 3 times by sub, and Joe Morales has most of his wins, 7 of his 13 wins by sub? Brother, Joe Morales has to go in the sub parlay. Has to. So it's Joe Morales, Gabriel Bonfim. Nice little sub parlay to end the card if you want to do that. And then if you want to add any more legs on it, I don't like Josh Hokett. Though there's a lot of money on it, I don't like it. Just like we were talking about, Jimenez really good on the ground. Josh Hokett, not really a lot of subs on the ground. He mainly ground and pounds his way to victory. So I don't like him in any sub props at all. But people I do like in some sub props, you're going to have to bear with me here. But Jamal Emmers. I kind of like Jamal Emmers to somehow finagle a sub in this fight. Now, I may sound a little crazy. Yes, but he only has 3 wins by sub. Yes, I know. But club and sub possibility. Hyder Emil did get hurt real badly in his last fight in June, by the way, not too long ago against Jose Miguel Delgado. That was a round 1 KO, June 28th, so basically July. All right. It was round 1, 26 seconds. Okay, that button got touched quickly. Now, let's say Jamal Emmers with the 4-inch advantage does somehow touch him and drops him. You don't favor Jamal Emmers to actually get the TKO finish, right? I mean, obviously, yeah, because he has 9 wins by TKO, but he's 9 decision wins as well. That tells me a lot about Jamal Emmers. It tells me that he does have finishing ability, but I feel like the knockout ability against a guy like Hyder Emil, who's definitely a really good striker, he might lean towards his grappling in this fight, which might be conducive to his sub. So I kind of like Jamal Emmer's sub as a leg of that parlay. Now, if you don't like that, obviously, the only other prop that makes sense would be Mayra Bueno Silva. It would have to be. Most of her wins are by sub. Most of her wins are by sub, but most of her wins are by finish. What was it, 67% or 70% of her wins are by sub? If she is somehow able to upset Jacqueline Cavalcanti, who is a striker, it will be by grappling her and possibly getting a sub. So your third leg of a sub parlay should be Mayra Bueno Silva if you decide to do that. It should start off your parlay. It should be a single because it's probably like plus 700. But Mayra Bueno Silva, sub, plus 600, plus 700, easy parlay starter, especially if Jacqueline Cavalcanti isn't as good as we think she is. Okay, so Mayra Bueno Silva sub would be my third submission prop that I'd like. Mayra Bueno Silva sub, Boppo sub, aka Joseph Morales, and Gabriel Bonfim sub. Those are my sub props that make sense. And if you're getting crazy, obviously the Bonfim brothers sub parlay. If you want to get crazy, I'm crazy. You don't gotta get crazy, but I'm crazy. Okay, but don't get crazy yourself. All right. I'm smoking candy bezels. It's an indica. I forget what I was smoking. What does this say? Oh, I do know. It says strawberry splash and runts. I have strawberry splash and runts. Well, those are the two that I'm smoking on right now. I only got 2 strands. I haven't broken it up into 4 jars just because I couldn't fit it. 4 drams just because I couldn't fit it all in just 4 drams. But yeah. Melker says, when I was in high school playing varsity rugby before one match, a guy had a bottle of whiskey and took 3 quips. That was a shell shock. So funny story about that. When I was in high school, I played basketball game. And me and all my boys decided to drink before the game. And I had an afro, like a really round afro at the time. And one of my boys was like, yo, let me twist your hair up for the game. So I got twisties and we were all drinking before the game. And I played the worst game of my life. I got to the line at one point and shot a free throw and it barely touched the rim, bro. I'm talking, it was damn near an air ball. It honestly should have been an air ball, but it barely grazed the rim. Like you heard it graze the rim just ever so slightly. So it wasn't an air ball, but it was bad. I would not suggest playing sports drunk ever. Now, smack, completely different story. Smack, I have stories playing sports on all different types of shit, man. And and some of them are real good stories. I'm not gonna lie. Some of them are real good stories. Max Jimenez by sub is plus 1,200, and anyone who looks into his tapology is going to take that. Yeah, Max Jimenez by sub. Now imagine a Max Jimenez, Mayra Bueno Silva sub parlay. I'm about to throw that shit in right now, bro. Fuck that. You guys just gotta be excited. Because if Josh Hoka isn't who I think he is, and he fucking kills my parlay, which you'll see a little later, man, I would like to cash out on that. I would like to cash out on that. That would be cool. So I'd probably go with a Jimenez. It should be Bonfim. Honestly, it should be Bonfim and Jimenez. But Bueno Silva Jimenez is just too juicy, bro. Too juicy. Plus 600 for Bueno Silva and plus 1,000 for Jimenez, bringing you to a plus 7,600, dude. Yeah, no, I had to throw a little bet on that. I did it. It's too late. It's too late. It's in. Whatever, dude. Maybe plus 700 for the sub. Also a no-brainer. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I parlayed. I'm feeling the chronic right now. I think the random burst of shadow boxing started it. That's the best though. I had the heavy bag out. It said it was gonna rain at 8 a.m, so I had to put it back in the shed. But I'm about to put it back out. Get a little workout before the card starts. I love doing that. And then Candy Bezos is crazy. Throwing in the crazy sub parlay. This is why I love you guys. This is why I love you guys too, Tanner. See? That's what I'm saying. A little Myra Bueno Silva, a little Jimenez. Like, come on. That's fucking juice right there. That's fucking juice on the subs. All right, and the last two things we want to talk about, Moneyline props. The ones that make sense, the ones that don't make sense. The ones that make sense, not Zachary Reese on short notice. Why the fuck would his money line make sense? But Daniel Marcos, Miles Johns is pretty close. A Marcos money line kind of makes sense to me. If you go Miles Johns, it doesn't not make sense to me either, because he has potential in a fight that I think will definitely go decision to at least steal a round. So obviously the Johns spread is in play, but I like Marcos money line there. And then Denise Gomez, Tisha Pennington, a little sketchy, which is why I don't have it in any parlays for a money line, but I also like that fight to go long. So, obviously not the Hoka Jimenez fight, because a lot of factors that people aren't noticing coming into play with that fight. The Cavalcanti Bueno Silva fight, a little sketchy because of the ability for Myra Bueno Silva to take the fight to the ground and steal the fight from Cavalcanti. So that one, not the greatest money line, especially with how wide the line is. I think it's like minus 260 for Cavalcanti at this point. Let me see. So I'm just not minus 220 for Cavalcanti. A little too wide for me. Cavalcanti is not minus 220 against a former title challenger for me. You know what I mean? So that money line doesn't really make sense to me. Neither does Jamal Emmers or Haider Emil. That fight's a toss-up as well, as is the Christian Leroy Duncan and Marco Tulio fight. We don't know too much about either fighter. I feel safe with a Ricky Simone money line. I feel good about that. Raoni Barcelos, when he beats fighters, they're normally strikers. And that is a fact. That is not me making up some bullshit. That is a literal fact about Raoni Barcelos. When he beats people, most of the time they're strikers. Bobby Moffitt, Kurt Hollabaugh, Chris Gutierrez, Saeed Nurmagomedov. Don't let the Nurmagomedov fool you. He is not a grappler. He is a striker. Raoni Barcelos beat him as well. Now, the grapplers that he faced, Timur Valiev, loses to him, majority decision. He beats Trevin Jones, known as a striker, knockout power, loses to Umar Nurmagomedov. That name is a true Nurmagomedov. Great grappling there. Obviously loses to him. Kyler Phillips, good all around. Tough fight for him, but I think that was on the feet. That was a surprising win. Peyton Talbot, striker, easily beat him. Cody Garbrandt, striker, easily beat him. All the grapplers that Raoni Barcelos has faced, it hasn't gone well for him. And all the grapplers that Ricky Simone has faced, those have gone swimmingly. He's even beaten Merab Dvalishvili. So, yeah, I like Ricky Simone moneyline in this fight a lot. I don't know how he does it, whether he gets the knockout or he gets the decision. I just like him to get the win. 2-fight win streak, Javid Basharat, Cameron Smotherman. I like that. He did go on a 3-fight losing streak, but all of these guys streaking in the bantamweight division right now, Vinicius Oliveira, Mario Bautista, Song Yadong. I know Mario Bautista didn't get the win over Umar, but damn near finished Umar at the beginning of that fight, just like the CP unit's called. So, and Song Yadong streaking right now. He's always at the top of the bantamweight division. But wins over Jack Shore, Rafael Sunsao, Brian Kelleher, Ray Borg. Losses to Rob Font, Uriah Faber. So he loses to the very top of the division, but he could beat guys like Raoni Barcelos. So I like a money line for Ricky Simone in this fight. Some people are on Raoni Barcelos because Ricky Simone, but Ricky Simone isn't that expensive. Minus 180, Ricky Simone. I'll take that any fucking day of the week. What is it right now? Main card, Ricky Simone. Where is it? Why can't I see it? Maybe all fights? Oh, it's not on the main card. That's why, Gaff. That's why. But Ricky Simone, minus 174 right now. I'll take that any day of the week. Ricky Simone, hell yeah. Especially against Raoni Barcelos. So, yeah. Another money line that I like and feel pretty confident in, Joseph Bappo Morales, man. Coming off a big win on Tough. Coming off a big win. Well, I guess, yeah, he counted as Tough. Even though it was in the UFC, it was technically from Tough. Okay. But yeah, Joseph Papo Morales used to train at Team Alpha Male. I think he still trains there, possibly. Yeah, he still trains the Team Alpha Male since 2014. He's on a 4-fight win streak. He beat Albi Ildris to win the Ultimate Fighter 33 flyweight tournament at UFC 319. He lost to Davison Figueiredo by TKO. But that was a long time ago in 2018 when Davison Figueiredo was a fucking hammer at flyweight. The boogeyman's gone. Now, he does have a split decision loss to Eric Shelton, but I personally thought that he won that fight, and I didn't think Eric Shelton won that fight. I remember that fight, actually. So he should be on a 5-fight win streak. That is the fight that took him away from MMA for 3 years. He didn't come back till August of 2021 and then fought once a year since then, going on tough, missing all of 2024, going on tough, fighting those times in 2025, and then fighting in the finale on August 16th of 2025. So he hasn't been that active, but we know that he could hang in there with some of the best. We've seen his pedigree. We've seen him in the UFC before. And we've seen what Matt Schnell can do, but we never have confidence in Matt Schnell, do we? No offense to him. I mean, there's not a lot of times where Matt Schnell's gone into a fight and I've been like, oh, yo, I got Matt Schnell. I mean, there really hasn't been. The Royval fight definitely didn't take Matt Schnell in that one. Sumaderji didn't take Matt Schnell, and he got the win there. So shout out to him there. But he was definitely losing that fight until he wasn't. But those Nicolau didn't have him. Steve Erceg didn't have him. Cody Durden, I didn't even have him. Okay, and I always bet against Cody Durden. No offense to him either. But he has a win over Jimmy Flick in his last fight. Not the greatest feather in your cap. No offense to Jimmy Flick. Very one-dimensional fighter. He basically won't fight on the feet. Matt Schnell just had to throw strikes, and he basically won. Jimmy Flick just wanted to fucking roll the whole time. So that was an easy win for Matt Schnell to get him back on the right track. But Joseph Morales will throw hands with you, and then once he drops you, he's going to grab your neck. So Joseph Morales is tough, man. I like Boppo in this fight. I like the money line. And I wouldn't advise you to take Randy Brown money line, but I like him, man. Bonfim is probably going to get the sub, but Randy Brown is the longer, stronger, younger fighter, been around he's a veteran of the game. I just somehow think he's going to either sneak a decision win out of nowhere, or he's going to put out Gabriel Bonfim, man. I don't think it's the Bonfim brothers' night. That's why they're in my high-risk parlay that you'll see later. But, man, I like Randy Brown, bro. I like Randy Brown as a dog. Which brings me to my dogs, motherfuckers. Which brings me to the dogs. I forgot to get my bark sound. Fuck. I'm supposed to put a bark sound in here. All right, well, when we get to the dogs next time, fuck, man, I knew I forgot something. There was one thing I fucking forgot. It was the dog sound. Do I have anything close to it? No. I don't got anything. It is what it is. Here,
I'm in his head. Look, he's mad.
My head.
He's mad.
Well, anyways, let's talk about the dogs on the card. All right. Dogs that I like, dogs that we're feeling, dogs that let's talk about the dogs that me and Luke agree on. Christian Leroy Duncan as a dog is one of the guys we agreed on. I like Christian Leroy Duncan as a dog, man. More experience than Tulio. Fought better competition than Tulio. I like Christian Leroy Duncan as a dog. I like him as a dog, man. I don't think you guys should take that risk, but I think I like him a lot as a dog. And then he may not be a dog for longer, but he started this fight as a dog. He's trending towards being a fucking favorite. Chris Padilla. I like Chris Padilla as a dog. Like I said, I don't think it's the Bonfim brothers' night. Even still, I have them in my high risk parlay, but I don't think it's the Bonfim brothers' night. I really don't. I like Chris Padilla. I don't know how he gets it done, but I like Chris Padilla. And the other dog that I like, Randy Brown. Randy Rude Boy Brown. Like I said, Randy Brown, nice dog, plus 144, way more experience in the UFC than Gabriel Bonfim. Way more competition, fought way better competition. He's longer, he's quicker, he's taller. Usually that's conducive to him getting taken down easier. Yes, I know. But if he can stay on the outside, Randy Brown could point fight his way to victory, if not get the KO. So I like Randy Brown. New York, we're rocking with you. Jamaica, we're rocking with you. Caribbean, we're rocking with you. I like Randy Brown, man. I like Randy Brown as a dog. Besides that, I'm not feeling Muslim Salikov. I know some people are feeling him. I mean, 40 is hard for me to put money on. If you're not Jared Cannonier and cut the fuck up, it's hard for me to put. If you're not Angela Hill and cut the fuck up, it's hard for me to put money on you as a dog when you're 40 plus years of age, man. That's my only gripe with Muslim Salikov. I would be feeling Muslim Salikov. I just can't bring myself to do it. And I like Jamal Emmers as a dog. I like Jamal Emmers as a dog a lot. And you know what? Fuck it. No. Yeah. And I like Jamal Emmers as a dog. I do. Yeah. And those are all the dogs I feel on this card. Now, Luke had a couple dogs that he was feeling. What did Luke say? Luke's dogs were... He said Padilla Brown. Oh, he likes Tisha and Maya Bueno Silva. That's a nice lady dogs parlay. That's I was gonna say the B word, but I was like this wouldn't look well in the long run. So yeah, I like the ladies as the dogs in this one. I like a Tisha Maya Bueno Silva because I feel like if there's one upset, there's two. Where there's smoke, there's fire on these cards, right? When we see a twister on the prelims, we'll probably see one on the main card too, right? We see a Sulev stretch on the prelims, we'll see one on the main card, or maybe in the next fucking fight. I think an upset. I think a couple upsets for the ladies are possible on this card. So maybe a Myra Bueno Silva and a Tisha Pennington spread parlay. That's going to be plus money, at least plus 150. But if you don't like that and you want dirtier odds, take them both money line. That's going to be in the plus 6 range, plus 7 range. All right. So those are all the dogs that I'm feeling on this card. There's money to be made. Absolutely on these prelim fights. There's money to be made, but it's tough. It's tough to see where some of these fighters are at sometimes. You know what I mean? So it's tough to just gauge that bullshit. Let's see. The video froze for a second, and in my head, I thought Gaff is going to take that parlay. I'm glad I wasn't wrong. You going to post these props on your Twitter, Gaff? Nah. If you're here, you caught him. If you're here, you caught him. That's the incentive for coming to the locker room. No reporters allowed. If you came to the locker room, if you were here in this space, then you got the picks, and you're here with me. You can put the parlays in now. I mean, there's still 2.5 hours before the card starts. Yeah, I got Gomes, Tyler. I got Gomes. But yeah, you only catch them here. I'm not putting these props on the Twitter or anything else. So you got to come to the locker room for these. Pre-game, no reporters are allowed in the locker room. That's only post-game antics, and we don't do post-games over here. So yeah, I got Gomes. I like a Gomes decision, but like I said, I got that. I as a hedge, I got that Lady Dogs parlay at Pennington, Myra Bueno Silva. And then bark, grr. Yeah, you already know, bro. I'm gonna get a fun sound for when we get into the dogs, because that's the only one I like. When we get to talk about dogs, because sometimes I got a fucking fire dog for you guys. You know what I mean? Like last week, Yadier Del Valle would have been my dog of the week. Like for sure would have been my dog of the week. Yadier Del Valle at plus 200. I'm like, guys, go hammer this shit right now. What the fuck are we doing? But right now, my dog of the week is Randy. It's the final fight of the night. It's Randy. That's my dog. It should be Max Jimenez if I had a brain, but it's Randy. It's Randy. All right. You in your own head, Gaff. You getting mad. What's your lock? I don't think I have a lock, Tyler. If I had to say what my lock would be of the card, it would probably be Ricky Simone. It'll probably be Ricky Simone. Will be my lock. Good to know. We'll watch back and add the bets in. Got you. You see corruption in the prelims, you might see it in the main. Exactly. Boxing was fire last night. I didn't even check it out. I gotta watch everything back. Dogs, you gotta have the Pop Smoke growl. Rip Pop. Yeah, shout out to Pop Smoke, bro. They killed him in Cali. Can't believe that shit. What fights were on, Tyler? And then got a 9-legger with a Kits Jewel. Just need Simon to cash it now. Oh shit. All right. I'm praying for you. All right, without further ado, let's get into the final portion of this. I'm going to give you guys my parlays. I pretty much gave you guys the picks. I'll give you the chart just for, here. Picks on UFC Vegas 111. I didn't make a dog's graphic for it, but I will share just for Richland's sake the actual chart because it does have everything encompassing on there. And I'll go from bottom to top, and then I'll give you guys my parlay, and then we'll get up out of here, okay? All right, starting with the first fight of the night at middleweight, Jackson McVeigh and Zachary Reese. I like this to be a TKO in round 1 for Zachary Reese. I like the under. My hedges, obviously, we've already talked about them, so I'm not going to beat you over the head with all my hedges. But, yeah, the Reese decision, if somehow this goes long, but a Reese sub is possible as well. McVeigh can also get the TKO. But I don't like the Reese decision there. I think it goes under. It's a Reese sub or a Reese TKO for me. Short notice opponent, and this opponent's way better than his other opponent, his former opponent. At bantamweight, Miles Johns versus Daniel Marcos. I like the Marcos decision here. I like the over. The Johns spread is in play because he's kind of a pace fighter. He could steal that middle round from a fighter that's comfortable with taking 1 and 3. So John's spread is very likely, especially in round 2. Watch Johns take round 2. And a Marcos TKO is possible. We've seen Johns get hurt before. So, it's possible, but I love that Marcos decision. I think Johns will stay safe enough. And they have a similar reach and height. So it's like Johns is fighting a mirror of himself, by the way. So it's not like Marcos has a crazy reach advantage or crazy height advantage. These guys are a mirror of each other. At women's strawweight, Tisha Pennington and Denise Gomez. I like a Gomez decision. As you can see, it's blue because I'm not that confident in that one. I very much think that Tisha Pennington could steal this fight. That's why the Pennington spread is in that hedge column. The over 2.5 is also possible. And Pennington can put the pace on her, which is why I think that this fight will go to the decision because Tisha has never been finished. But Tisha is fighting with a 3-reach disadvantage to Denise Gomez. And that translates in a fight that Tisha Pennington will try to stay on the feet, circle, land her kicks. She might get caught a couple times on her exits. At heavyweight, Josh Hokett, Max Jimenez. I'm still going with the Hokett TKO round 1. I don't know why I am. I just am. Why do I have Hokett sub? I'm supposed to be Jimenez sub, bro. Jimenez sub is obviously the other possibility. Like I said, there's a possibility that this goes long, but I don't have it as anything that I have money on because heavyweight slop, I try not to let that environment be fostered. We don't want heavyweight slop around here. We want heavyweight finishes. So I'm pushing for the heavyweight unders, whether it's a Jimenez sub, a Josh Hokett TKO. Just give me an under, please. Give me an under. Okay. At women's bantamweight, Mayra Bueno Silva and Jacqueline Cavalcanti. I'm way more confident in Cavalcanti to get a decision win over Mayra Bueno Silva. We've seen Bueno Silva just kind of quit in some fights. And Cavalcanti definitely not too much power where she's going to put away Mayra Bueno Silva. So I like this fight to go long. I like the over. Now, Mayra Bueno Silva's spread bet's possible. It only takes one takedown and for her to land on top and stay on top in a round for her to steal a round. So, the Silva spread bet's possible. And obviously that Silva sub is right there next to that Jimenez sub. We can see them right next to each other. We don't even got to wait long for that parlay. So that's a sexy little parlay if you guys like it. Again, Mayra Bueno Silva, 4-inch reach disadvantage in this fight. So definitely need her to be able to take it to the ground to win this fight. And if she takes it to the ground, she's searching for subs. At featherweight, Haider Emil and Jamal Emmers. I like Emmers to steal a decision here. Why do I have Emmers' decision here as well? Hold on. See, what the fuck's up with the chart today? Emmers' decision. I like the over in this fight. Emil decision, just in case, is a nice hedge. And like I said, Emmers sub, club and sub possibility. Obviously, Haider Emil took a TKO in his last fight. I should be all over the Emmers TKO. I just don't have confidence in Emmers' TKO ability. I feel like if the sub's there, he's going to yank it up. And I feel like Haider Emil is going to do everything in his power to not get TKO'd for the second time in a row. So giving up his neck might be that out. That's why that hedge is in the column. Emil also with a 4-inch reach disadvantage. So even though Emmers isn't the better striker, he could steal the fight striking. That should be kept in mind as well, even though Emmers wrestling heavy game plan most of the time. At middleweight, Christian Leroy Duncan versus Marco Tulio. I like Duncan to steal the decision here. I like the over in this fight. And fight NKO. Just in case Duncan isn't able to get the decision over Tulio, because I do favor him over Tulio. I like fight NKO because either guy has the ability to knock each other out. At middleweight, these boys do have power, and these boys both have a lot of finishes. The problem for me here is that when two prospects, budding prospects even, get together, they tend to play it safer, which is why I think this is going to be a decision. At bantamweight, Ricky Simone and Raoni Barcelos, you guys already know my decisioning on that. Ricky Simone, grappler, nice wrestling. Raoni Barcelos loses to grapplers more often than not. He tends to beat strikers. Ricky Simone does have really good striking, but his wrestling is really where he shines. He has great grappling ability. So Ricky Simone, decision. I like him. Barcelos spread is possible. I could see him stealing around here or there, but I like the Simone, and the Simone TKO is also possible. That's why I'm rocking with that. And then lightweight, Chris Padilla, Ismail Bonfim. This fight, I don't know what the fuck's going to happen. Let's be honest. It could be a Bonfim TKO early. Could be a Padilla decision. Padilla could take the spread. Could be a Padilla sub. The fight could end by decision, and we won't know who wins because it was sloppy. Bonfim could have hurt him, and then badly in round one, almost a 10-8, and then Padilla steals the next 2 rounds. Or it could, we don't know what the fuck's going to happen. This is why I hate fights where the weight gets missed. This is why I'm pissed that I put my parlays in so early, because I put it in before the weight miss for once, and it is what it is. And then welterweight, Muslim Salikov, Uros Medic. I like Medic to get the TKO in round 2. I like the under. Salikov KO would be a nice hedge because I don't think this fight goes the distance. But if this fight does go the distance, Medic has to win it. I don't think Salikov at the great big old age of 40 is going to win a decision against Uros Medic. And then at flyweight, Matt Schnell, Joseph Morales. I like Boppo in this fight. I like him to get the sub in round 2. Schnell tends to lose a lot in round 2. I don't know what it is about round 2, but that's where the guy loses a lot. And Morales, conversely, likes to get a lot of subs, and a lot of them are in round 1 or 2. So I like round 2 for this fight. Under, I like the Morales TKO just in case, because we've seen Matt Schnell get KO'd on some goofy shit a couple times, just like, what? He's out? So it's just like, it's possible. Morales, great ground game, could have a lot of top control and just rain down shots. It's possible. I just like the sub in this fight. I don't like the fight to go the distance. I like the under. But if it does go the distance, shit, that's not a bad hedge, because then you don't have to care who wins or loses. Yeah, Boppo's a sub machine. And then in the main event, I like a Bonfim sub. Like I said, I'm rolling with Randy Brown. Randy Brown money line. I don't care how he does it, but the Bonfim sub is likely. We've seen Randy Brown lose by sub multiple times before. Bonfim, most of his wins are by sub. I like it to happen round 2 if it does happen. So I like the over 1.5 because I think it happens late in round 2, but I don't like this fight to go long. But if it does go long, I like the Brown decision. A Bonfim decision would be because Brown just can't get him off him and Bonfim can't finish him, which is why that's in the column. But yeah, I mean, 13 of Bonfim's wins are by sub, dude. 13. I can't deny that. I can't deny the stats, people. I'd love to just give you fucking Randy Brown TKO is going to happen, but the stats just tell me that Bonfim is going to grapple his ass, take him down in that smaller cage in the Apex, and sub him. That's just what the stats tell me, but I'm going to be rolling with Randy Rude Boy Brown. Okay. These are the parlays. I got Josh Hokett to somehow get a win, whether he lays on top of him for a decision or he does get that TKO win. I like Josh Hokett. I like him to be that heavyweight that they're pushing forward. We need more heavyweight blood. Jimenez might spoil the fun, but thank God we have that Jimenez sub hedge in there. So we got that. And then I like Joseph Morales. We almost never roll with Matt Schnell. No offense to him. And then Ricky Simone. He's my lock of the week. Like I said, I like him against Raoni Barcelos because he can beat Raoni Barcelos everywhere that Raoni Barcelos is good. So that's why that is the one more round official parlay of the week. Josh Hokett, Joseph Morales, Ricky Simone money line at a plus 137. The high risk parlay is I went with the ladies' favorites and I went with the Bonfim bros. I didn't put a lot of thought into this one, I'm not going to lie, but it feels a little safer because the Bonfims tend to win together. I know it didn't happen last time out, but they do tend to win together when they do appear in the same card, regardless of the weight miss. Ishmael Bonfim, Gabriel Bonfim, Jacqueline Cavalcanti, and Denise Gomez. That is my high risk parlay. And it's high risk for a reason. That weight misser's in there. I mean, it shouldn't be high risk because there's 3 favorites in there, but that weight misser's in there, which makes it a high risk, which makes it fucking high risk. Okay. And those are my picks. Appreciate you guys for coming by for the first episode of The Locker Room. If you haven't already, please scan the QR code here. Subscribe to the channel. One More Round Fights. You can follow us on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, fucking Reddit, whatever you want to do. We just shout out to Chris and shout out to the Morning Combat Reddit. We did a Ask Me Anything on the Morning Combat Reddit on Friday, which was yesterday. Shout out to everyone that came by and asked questions. I appreciate you all. Don't forget to come on by. Hopefully we grow in the future. We're doing a watch along on the main card minute, 4 p.m. today. Don't forget to scan that QR code if you're not already subscribed to the main card minute. We're doing a full card watch along on the main card minute. So full fucking card. Don't forget. We're trying to get to 650. 650. Okay. Scan the QR code. Like, subscribe, share it with a friend, do all that shit. I hope you guys make some money. I hope I make some money. I could really use it, especially after the bullshit that happened on CP units last week. Hopefully we do better this week. Appreciate you guys for coming on by. Let me get through these last few comments. DMX Gersound is cool too. That would be a good one. I kind of like that. And the main was Flaz versus Johnson, ended in KO. Goated Sheets. Appreciate it, Richland. Appreciate it. All right, I'm going to check those out. And then don't punch this heavy bag. Go punch your Tapology picks, Gaff. Don't forget. I'm going to go double check them right now. Thank you for the reminder, Richland. I'm going to get out of here. Appreciate everybody that came on by. Richland, Melker, Tyler, Lazy Bed, Danger Mouse, Tanner, Kyle, who am I missing? Manich coming on by. Luke, main car minute in this piece. I said lazy. I said Mr. Davis. Appreciate you coming on by, brother. I said danger. Christian L. Appreciate you coming on by, bro. Infrared. Appreciate you coming on by. Did I miss anyone? I think I got everyone. If I did miss you, my bad, but appreciate you coming on by, showing love to the channel. Hopefully we can keep this series going. It looks like it was a good turnout, so I think we will. So don't forget the locker room every week before a card, a few hours before the card. We're going to go live, talk about any bets, picks, see what, bounce some ideas off of each other. Let us know what the stats are telling us, all that type of stuff. Just like Richland says, hit that like button on the way out, donks. Don't forget to like the video. Appreciate you guys. See you in a couple hours on the main car minute. And smoke weed every day. I'm out.
Meteor crashing in that earth. How my flow is hard since I was born. It's about time you notice. Smoke the bomb flower now. No, it's not the lotus. Cannabis, sativa, indica, whatever's growing. It's a self-prescription. I hope it's not in cursive. I read a fine print like Swiss. I'm subversive, not coercive and mediocre, cause I'm assertive. Put my way in the smoke sessions, now I'm inserted. Hash me out on a beat, I bet I get it high. Better keep the bass low, we drink so get a case slow. But my eyes real low like Janae Mary Jane, Mila J, 3 sons and 3 a day. Rolling on my women in my white sheets. Hi, I don't care if any lowlights even like me. Why? I'm too crazy and indifferent to use Visine. I'm often spacing, tripping till this ain't a pipe dream. Right,